Hey YouTubers, what's up? It's me, yours truly. Um, Back to post a quick video response to Joseph O'Donnell's thread that he just put up a little while ago. I know I have a couple others I still need to answer. Dan has one, Spellerine has one, but I saw this one by Joseph and I thought these are 10 very quick questions I can knock out before I go get into bed, so I'll just knock that out real quick and I'll do Dan's and Spellerine's tomorrow. So anyway, question number 1, most overrated band. Just as we were getting back on good terms, Joseph, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to say the Beatles. And I'll kind of give 2 reasons why, and one is kind of a compliment, which is the first reason, and that is I think the Beatles are an incredible band, great band, obviously legendary, but I think to the degree that Beatlemania took them and where people see them today, there's just such a gap between where that's at and how good a band I think they are. So in kind of a twisted roundabout way, that's somewhat of a compliment to them. But the thing that really makes me feel that they're overrated is I hate seeing these, 100 greatest albums of all time or 500 greatest albums of all time that Rolling Stone or whoever did, and then like 7 or 8 of the top 10 are Beatle albums. I'm sorry, but to me that's just it's not possible. There's no way that you can say of all the bands through history, I mean, you're talking about your Zeppelins, your Rush, just kind of everybody through all genres. 8 of the Beatles albums are better than every other album in existence from Zeppelin and on and on and on. There's just no way. You can't convince me of that. I'm sorry. So that's a big part of where my overrated piece comes from. And I really think like a lot of times people judge the Beatles more by how they felt and what they remember during the time of the Beatles, because it was such an exciting time for rock and that British invasion and all of that. And I think that's something very special that a lot of people hold dear, that time in their lives. But I think sometimes that's used a little too much to throw the Beatles up to where other people see them. To me, I just see them as one heck of a band that did the right thing. They were in the right place at the right time, and they made great music. That's how I see them. So anyway, moving right along. Sorry, Joseph, again. Question number 2, most underrated band. My first impression was to say the SOS band, which was a kind of an 80s R&B band. Also, I was going to say Wolfmother, mainly because of their 2009 release Cosmic Egg. I think it was one of the best rock albums, hard rock albums probably in the last 10 years that didn't get its due. But I think I'm going to have to go with In This Moment in the metal genre. I think one of the best new metal bands in the past few years, and they just have not gotten their due. I mean, great vocalists, great musicians, and whether you're into just kind of the straightforward palm muted type metal, or if you like the 2 guitar harmonies of, kind of like what Maiden did, they add a bit of that flavor up and down in all of their albums, and I think they are just a very underrated band. Question 3, how do you keep track of your collection? Excel spreadsheet. I mean, simply put, name of the band, name of the album, year of the album, the value of the record, and then if I have it on LP, CD, or cassette, and then colored vinyl or any special like reissue or something, or special issue or anything like that. And then another place out at the very end where I'll put any notes I need to know about the album. I will also go through and highlight in red any album that I need to get a replacement copy or something of that nature. So that's kind of how I keep track of my collection. Question 4, has my music taste changed since being on YouTube? It's grown. I don't know if I'd use the word change, but it's definitely grown and expanded. And probably the biggest thing would be on the indie and post-rock side of things. It's a genre I did not know a lot about, and I've discovered a lot of it since I've started doing the YouTube thing. Question number 5. do you have any record pet peeves? Not really. I mean, I store my records all the same. I like fitted sleeves. I like records coming out from the side. But really my biggest pet peeve is probably the condition of my records. I've definitely gotten a lot more picky as I become a little more of a collector about the condition. Question 6. Can you remember the first ever proper record? Which I believe what Joseph was getting at was like the first record you bought after you really kind of officially became a collector. It came down to two, because it's kind of some of the first records I remember actually paying more than $10 for. One was John Coltrane's Love Supreme, but I actually think I got this one before that, which was a Hendrix, Electric Ladyland. And it wasn't this copy, it was another copy that was pretty worn. I mean, the cover was very, very worn, but the vinyl was in good shape. But like I said, my pet peeve developed with the condition of my records, I got rid of that copy about a year or so ago and picked up this nicer, much cleaner copy. But I think that was the first one I bought when I really started becoming a official collector. Question number 7. Have you ever thought I need to cut down? Yes, I thought I need to cut down this wall so I could move my collection into the next room as well. But that's about the only cut down that's ever come to mind concerning my record collection. The only thing I may have thought is sometimes I'll get the feeling and I'll say to myself, I need to slow down, because I'll get so many new records coming in that I'm going through and listening to them and getting them input and getting put in my collection and listening to the next one. But sometimes it's easy to not take enough time to really absorb some of the new records that are coming in. Or you get them flowing through so fast and get them put in the shelves, and next thing you know, you're 100 records into your new stuff, and that record kind of slips your mind. That's why even sometimes I'll go back and watch my own videos here on YouTube, and it's amazing how I'm like, oh shoot, I totally forgot about that. So slow down, but not cut down. Question 8. You ever bought an album in double by accident? Yeah, a number of times. Never anything that really costs more than like $10 or $15. It's always I pick up 4 or 5 things in a dollar bin and just totally forgot I got that in the dollar bin 2 years ago and just haven't listened to it in a long time, that type of thing. Most recent album you bought? It's actually 2, because I bought these exact same trip day before yesterday. Unnatural Helpers. Pick that up. Kind of like a jet sounding band, a good kind of garage, hard garage, if you will. And then Black Dub. Pick them up. I kind of labeled them as like a little more rock and roll Josh Stone. That's the impression I got from the first time I heard them, which made me want to pick that up. But those are the 2 new ones. And question number 10. First record in your collection. Well, I don't do the ABC thing. I have, categories, and then all this stuff right here in front of me is all by artists. But I just went to the top left, which is typically the way when you're reading, that's the first. And the first category I have there is punk and hardcore. So the first album I had in that section, which, look at that, guys. I got a picture disc. It's another one. 97A, Abandoned Future EP. This is just kind of a punk band that I picked this up when I bought like a lot of about 10 or 12 punk albums, and I got this one. But it ended up being pretty good, and I kept it. But this scenario kind of goes back to one of the reasons why I don't like picture disc, is because I totally forgot I had this album. And no spine. It just never popped up, and if Joseph wouldn't ask this question, who knows how long it would have been before I saw it again. So just another reason why I don't like picture disc. But there you go, Joseph. Thanks for the questions. Again, I'm sorry about the Beatles stuff, but as always, we'll still be friends. All right, take care, man.